Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana is also still here in its correction. It lately did fail to break out of this channel. We're going to take a look at that. Still in its wave 2. Yeah, so with the Elliott waves, typically you get 5 waves, of which you normally get 5 to the upside, yeah, in an uptrend. Or, well, no, you get wave 1, 3 and 5 to the upside. You get wave 2 and 4 to the downside. This year was a 5-wave move to the upside. This year is an ABC to the downside, but on a higher level. This year was a higher degree wave 1 all the way to the all-time high, and we're now in a higher degree wave 2, which typically comes down into the region between the 78.6% FIB level and the 88.7% FIB level, and we're not quite there yet. We would need to go to $55, but nevertheless, Solana did reach the target area already. We had for Solana defined the $100 level, and that was broken. But because we haven't found support there and not really such a strong reaction to the $100 level, we do expect still lower prices to $55, the 78.6% FIB level. But bear in mind, nothing is ever guaranteed. Therefore, I have already started to dollar cost average in when we reach that target level of $100 that we started to talk about back in November. So really happy with that. And to be honest, we haven't dropped that much since then. By the way, another buy order I think triggered down here at around $85 or something. And again, if you would like to see my buy and sell orders, then feel free to check out the channel membership. But what is Solana doing here in the smaller scale? So if we go to the 1 hour chart, or maybe better the 4 hour chart, you can see that Solana did try to break out of this descending channel. It failed, obviously. The last video we then talked about that we could get something like a head and shoulders forming. And to be honest, if you take a look what Solana did before, we're pretty much doing the same stuff. So you had here your head and shoulders, yeah. That broke. So we had a neckline here, probably something like that. Had a neckline here, you broke, came down all the way to $75. What do you do now in the small here? In the small scale, you do that left shoulder, head, and you do a right shoulder, okay? And again, got a neckline here. And that neckline is currently sitting at, depends how accurately you draw it. Yeah, pretty much at $86, $87, or maybe even 85, 86. So again, if that breaks, that can take you to a new low. Yeah, because just looking at the simple way, just crudely calculating the target for that could take you all the way down to around $63. And then again, we're very, very close then to a $55 Solana. We're pretty much at a tipping point here. I think it's not going to happen, or it's not going to take much longer here to get a decision of Solana. Does it actually break down here? And does it break the neckline? Does it break that previous support level here? We've got here a $81 support level. That's the previous low of the 24th of January. If all of that breaks, yeah, the neckline plus that support level, so you have a little bit of a support zone here that probably reaches down to $75 with that previous low here from the 24th of February. That could push you down. And if that, yeah, the thing is you have your descending trend line coming down here and you've got your support lines here. So you're basically getting squeezed into an apex. You could argue that's actually a descending triangle here, which is rather bearish, especially in a downtrend in which you already are. That could push you down. That could push you down, and therefore my primary expectation has to remain that we have a further sell-off. Yeah, so this is the support zone. I probably can put it on the chart here. Might be better. So we start here basically at that sort of neckline level of that head and shoulders. We go down to $75. That would be here my support zone that we need to get through in order to reach $55. Yeah, before we then reach here this that target area, which I now make green because this would be fantastic to reach that area between 55 and 30 US dollars. Yeah, that is where we are here at the moment with Solana. So really waiting for this head and shoulders pattern that we talked about in previous videos to really play out and to break the neckline. I mean, it's already formed pretty much a head and shoulders. We just need a little bit further to go down a little bit further to get to that neckline level here before we then could work on dropping. So if Bitcoin I just made a Bitcoin video. If Bitcoin does what I think it would be doing, basically get rejected from this resistance level here, then we could also get that Solana drop play out. Okay, this is here obviously on the 4-hour chart. Let's take a look on the daily. I'm sure, yeah, on the daily as well, we can see the indicators are all pointing down. The RSI here coming down. I mean, what it did before, the RSI showed us a bullish divergence, and you see these across the various cryptocurrencies. The reason for that was that Solana was that much oversold here end of January that it just had to recover a little bit. Then it made a lower low on the price, but you can see a higher low on the RSI. The thing is, yeah, it can work out. It can mean that we're getting towards the end of the correction, absolutely, but it's only one indicator, and I think we get at least one more drop. Yeah. The thing is, what does it mean? It just means that it's slowing down the downtrend, and you can just see that by watching here, by looking at the price. You don't need a bullish divergence to read in the RSI. Then you can see that the downtrend slowed down. It did drop very, very fast, then just had to consolidate, and I think we're now ready for another drop. If it doesn't happen, fine, you know, nobody knows, but the chart doesn't look at all at the moment that we are breaking out here. And if it does break out, we can still change scenarios. That's what the important thing is. At the moment, you can't read anything bullish into this chart, absolutely not yet. We're still below the 50-day moving average, below the 200. You have your death cross, you're in a descending channel, you haven't found support on a fib level. Here the indicators are all pushing down. The RSI even here turning around, getting rejected at the 50 level here. The MACD losing buying momentum again. The stochastic RSI also still further room for further price drops. And we can also take a look at the ADX and DI, which again here you can see that it still gives us a short signal. Yeah, so it hasn't been since February, beginning of February, that they never really crossed bullish here. Since the last time we had a bullish cross was in October, and since then we've always had a short signal since the 15th of November. So all of that basically still confirming further downside. Yeah, here on the 4-day chart as well, which is even more meaningful, absolutely further downside expected. And on the weekly chart as well, pretty much moving sideways on the weekly, but also here pretty much a short signal. So all of that together, taken together, let me think that we haven't seen the low yet. Yeah, of course, we have to assume that until situations change. So when suddenly, or if Solana suddenly does make a higher high, maybe breaks above here this $120 level at this wave 4 to the upside, yeah, then making a higher low, that is when we can start talking. Until then, I just have to assume further price drops. There's nothing around it, you know, there's no way around it. Why could I couldn't tell you that we're going to go up from here. I can tell you that Solana has fulfilled the minimum requirements of the correction. We talked about that in previous videos. It did reach the $100 level. It was the 61.8% fib level. That is at least what you need to expect here in such a move down in this wave 2. It did reach that. From my point of view, the requirements for that correction are complete, but because since then we haven't seen a 5-wave move to the upside, any kind of bullish structure, we have to assume that we still go down further, especially as we are getting squeezed here into a descending triangle. Yeah, that's my view here on Solana. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment for the algorithm. And yeah, if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership with access to Discord, Telegram, and a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.